Oh God. So I'm gonna tell you this fucking weird story. I have to tell it to myself first, see if it makes sense. Like I said, no inner monologue, and I'm really getting tired of chatting with AI because it's pissing me off. Anyway, so I've had some weird experiences in life. Everybody has, but um, anyway, I just show you a picture of my dog first. That's how I feel today. I'm a lazy person today. Anyway, so I had several weird experiences in my life, and I will list them off. And I'm calling them ignitions because that's what they feel like. Anyway, I'm just doing work around the house as I talk. I don't talk to people, so it's easier for me for you to get to know me doing it this way because I'm terrified of people. But anyway, I'll get to that later. So I call them ignitions. I had one when I was 7 and 4 days old. I was laying in the ditch in the new subdivision we had moved to, in my snowsuit, and my chest lit up. I was singing, I thought was to God or to my brother who died, and uh, and I was singing Ronnie Millsap. Almost like a song. I was singing it, and I was laying there, and then all of a sudden my chest lit up, like all warm and sparkly, like a sparkler lit up, but it was yellow and warm and lit up all the way down to my fingertips and the top of my head and down to my belly, and it kept me warm for days. And then I had terrible experiences in my life, but whatever, everybody does. And then when I was 54 and 4 days old, I woke up from this weird dream. God, I should tell you about the dream. It's weird. And I did not know I was going to break up with my ex. It was in 2024, February 23rd. So 4 days after that, in 2024. And I woke up, I was very sick. I was having really terrible sweats. Like I would, when I was able to walk, which wasn't very often, I would leave wet footprints on the floor, and I would, my sheets would have my body print of sweat. I was very sick, and when I left him, I stopped getting infections, which was amazing. But they thought I was going septic, so they sanitized my insides twice with penicillin and IVs and shit. When he eventually took me to the hospital, I had to write it down, and because it was in writing, he couldn't deny that I asked him. But anyway, so I woke up from that dream, and the dream was I got on a very short. What do you call them? I used to call them flying elephants in the Air Force. They were the big ass aircraft that um, would take kit and people long distances. Like, for instance, when I came home from Afghanistan, I slept between two 777s that were loaded. It was comfortable. I felt very safe. Anyway, so I got on one of those, but it was very short in my dream. It was very short. And I tried to get on the first time, and I had like a little bag with me, like a briefcase. And they're like, "No, sorry, not enough room for your shit." And the plane took off, and then it came back again. And I got on that plane. I didn't have anything in my hands, so I just got in the plane, and there was maybe I don't know, 8 people, and all I could see were the backs of their heads. And I got I all of a sudden, this is gonna be the weird part. So the dream continued, and I was on being carried by Christ on his throne, and his throne was like floating down this cobblestone street, this long street, and then it turned a corner, and anyways, before it turned the corner, I was looking up at him, and then I was looking out and looking at me being carried by him, and I have all different perspectives, different views. And I could tell you what he looked like. It's really cool. But I'll save that for another time. Anyway, so I woke up again. Don't know the Bible. Still haven't freaking read it. And anyway, the plane. I was on the plane again after we turned the corner. It was a really short little turn corner, and it was a really short little road. And I was on the plane again, and I was on the right hand side of the aircraft looking at the window, and I saw this but you know, that Rio de Janeiro, you know, the Jesus statue. And I saw him and he was waving to me. And I'm like, that's really weird. And all of a sudden, we were flying over St. John, New Brunswick, which is where the area that I'm from. I'm like, that was a really short trip. And I could see the cobblestone walkway in Market Square. And it was in a spiral, which was not how it was. I'm like, well, okay, that's really weird. And I woke up from the dream and I had that warm sparkle again. And it lasted for days. And then I threw them out in July, the first time. And I went to Market Square. I'm not going to tell you much about the trip, but other than they were changing the cobblestone walkway to a spiral. And now when I got to Newfoundland, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. The statue of Jesus was in Newfoundland. I wasn't even planning on coming here. Anyway, it's the weirdest thing. And then, like I said, I drove by this house and my chest sparkled. But the time before that, I went across, I was in Midland, Ontario, and I was like asking God, because I didn't know where to go, what to do. I all of a sudden desperately needed a book. And autistic, we love notebooks. We never fucking write anything useful in them, but we love them anyway. Anyway, so I bought a freaking notebook, and I didn't know which way to go. And I could have turned left outside the hotel doors to go, or motel doors to go to the stores up there, or I could have went across the road to the place called Winners in the mall, and I had to cross traffic, of course. And I turned towards the one at the mall, and my chest lit up. I'm like, I guess I have to go that way. So I went across the road, and I crossed with the light, and there was a man just before I got to the sidewalk that wasn't looking, and he was driving a truck, and he was looking the opposite direction. He was looking to the left, and I was trying to get to the edge of the sidewalk, and his car moved, and the light was still red, and he almost hit me. Like, it was like, and I grabbed onto the hood of the car, or hood of this truck, because it was like up here. I'm 5'1", whatever. And he looked at me and he's like, and he's like, oh my God. And I like made the sign of the cross. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. Have a great day. But did you die? Like, because I didn't. And so I kept walking, and I got to the parking lot, and he pulled into the parking lot, like way off to the side, and got out of his truck and was losing his shit. And I walked over to him like, it's okay. We're both alive today. It's all right. So those are the 4 times I had those weird sparkles. And now I call them, it's just what happens before you almost get hit by a truck. Anyway, yeah, I am a weirdo. Thinking pictures. And I know the number for 911. It's okay. I'm not crazy. I'm just weird. It's not illegal. Mwah. Have a nice day.